What's up guys, this is Sher talking, welcome back to my channel. On today's video I bring you news for Romancing SaGa Universe. We just got the announcement of two new SaGa Soul banners. SaGa Soul Azra that brings bosses from Game Boy games, and SaGa Soul Dread Queen that brings bosses from Romancing SaGa 2 and 3. Well, let's start talking about SaGa Soul Azra on this video. The other one will be made in a separate one, and this banner is mostly about damage with not much support, hence why I believe it's the worst banner of the two options. And we will go straight to Reddit. In a post by Hands43, we have the translation and also comparison to JP. Actually, no need for comparison because this banner is a straight port with no difference, not even for status. Ashura has 125% STR and agility, and 96% endurance and 82% will. Those values are just okay for current standards. This character is all about damage. Well, reduces damage taken at all times by 30%. It starts the fight with 16 BP, and when using an attack, activates skill number 1. Every time that he attacks, that skill is free because it's used as a chase and recovers between 2, 4, 6 or 8 BP. He's all about RNG, and the number of BP he recovers will allow him to use some very strong attacks. He also buffs all of his status by 15% and have this heat up that increases damage potential by 30%. Will stack 5 times for 130 at turn 5. Well, this skill that he uses as a chase will also be able to be used as a command, but as a command it may or not be so great since he uses 3 BP and recovers between 2, 4, 6 and 8. RNG will usually give you more than what you are spending, so it's still okay to use. The second skill is a 16, well, it will use his BP on turn 1 for triple S AoE heat attack. Now we usually have 2 waves when we are grinding for quests, so this can be used to kill all the enemies, but he himself would not help on the second wave. Then the third one is a 16 BP attack that attacks randomly 6 times with C power. That is extremely powerful, because even after the 6 hits, he will still chase with his skill number 1. That means that it's 7 hits, and he will even recover a little extra, but it's 16 BP cost, and he will only get 3 BP normally. He relies on the RNG from the chase and from the command in order to regain BP enough to keep using his priced attack. If he's used it together with Chirei, he's going to be able to do a lot of damage, but it's just blunt. With the dominance of the new Leon, it's not so easy to justify using Azra, but he comes ready. He does not need to build up like Leon. Leon eventually will do more damage because of his opener being stronger. And now, depending on the version that you are using, you can even use 2 strong attacks followed by 5 weak chases. So, good to use, strong to have, but not really necessary for anything. The second one is Venus, and she is a spellcaster. As you can see, 115% intelligence and 106% agility. So she does enough damage and is fast enough, with endurance being just in average and will being just okay. She does have lots of charisma though, because she likes to buff charisma for everyone by 20% every turn. When she attacks, she also debuffs STR and will from the enemies by 5%, pretty much similar to what we are getting with Eagle Maul, with new Aspergal. And when she attacks, she also has 50% chance to activate skill number 3. That is a triple S power attack with heat damage, slash as well, that applies defense down, and this will happen 5 times. The effect is very large, meaning that if you attack with this skill and then you follow up with this skill again, you actually have 9 stacks because the follow-up already used 1 stack, and this will last for 2 turns, meaning that everyone else that attack after Venus will do more damage. This defense down value is 50%. So yeah, you have 2 stacks of 50%, kinda leaving that defense of the enemy on close to 0 or something. But on level 1, since it's from chase, it only stops on 45% as a command and can reach as much as 50%. Very strong. If you get this on 1 turn and on the next one you can use it again to try to get even more, because yeah, you can go even on negative levels for defense down. She also has this Elemental Enhanced Heat, that increases her heat attack damage by 30%, 3 times in battle for 90% on max, and when she attacks with heat attacks, she recovers 2 BP. So she gets at least 5 BP per turn, sometimes 7 because of the chase attack. Then she has 20% damage increase at all times, and by turn begins, she will grant herself defense up 5 times for a total of minus 40% damage on average. That's the only way she decreases damage taken. So, starts slow, eventually gets defensive, and she has 110% damage increase, and will be able to cover 2 elements, heat and slash, with her nuke, and she can use the nuke attack every 2 turns, and if she gets the chains, she actually allows your party to do much more damage. She also has a skill number 1 that costs 2 BP that you will only be using if you have someone like Nawal's daughter or Liz that can debuff the enemy's endurance and intelligence. Intelligence is good, by 15% on max level, or she can also choose to use a second skill that is AoE hit damage that tries to confuse and charm the enemies. This is used for Wuhan Remembrance battle, but hard to use anywhere else. The character is okay to use for rush squads that want to do damage pretty fast if she allows you to do much more damage, but she works better when used with characters that have big hits instead of multi-hits attack, because the defense down will just disappear. It's not like Sundra that you keep stacking. Remember that Sundra from Creator and also from Matcha will apply minus 15% or minus 10% defense, but you can keep stacking that and last for 2 turns. So, similar utility, but here it's just single target, and it usually prefers you to use nukers than just multi-hit attackers. The third character is Odin, and this guy here is a hybrid type. You can see that he has STR and intelligence with just 102%. Endurance and will are just 80, so not really great. His agility is just average, and nothing here stands out. This character tries to use both spells and spear skills, and just the first one is a spell. I don't know why they wasted so much status by giving him intelligence. But he blocks 1 damage 1 time, 1 turn. And if there is just Odin, he recovers 3 BP and recovers his usage of skill number 2. That means that everyone died besides him. This skill is pretty cool because it's fast, will recover and revive everyone, and will also grant this HP recover by the end of turn if you are dead. You will revive with very large healing that is equal to almost getting you from 0 to max. That's right, but Odin has to survive in order for him to recharge this. It's not practical, it's just good in theory. And when he gets killed once, he will revive. That means that, yeah, if you get hit by a nuke attack, everyone will die, but he will revive once, stay up, recover that usage of skill number 2, and then use it on the next turn. But the problem here is that even if people revive, they will probably die again. It's not like Key that can revive people, apply ailment resistance, and also will buffs, or some other people like Maria that applies an evasion skill so that you can actually survive. Just reviving people is not enough because you lose all your defense boost and they will simply die on the next turn. Passive number 2, he grants this Elemental Enhance that increases Pierce, Cold, and Lightning damage by 20% to the whole squad. If a skill uses both Pierce and Cold, or Pierce and Lightning, or Cold and Lightning, you get a 40% increase. And he also recovers 2 BP when attacking. That means that he is a 5 BP per turn character. Skill number 3, he decreases damage taken by 25%, increases his own damage potential by 20, and starts the fight with 11 BP. That's all because he wants to start with this triple S power attack that uses 11, and he has Pierce and Lightning, meaning that it will benefit from 2 stacks of his Elemental Enhance. Before he attacks, he boosts his Pierce and Lightning attack, so that this attack will feel more in line like a 4S power attack. And if he does not have VP to use skill number 3, he will use skill number 1. That is a B power attack that is single target, and it's a spell that can grant cold defense down to the enemy. This will actually benefit the whole squad if they have cold attacks. Lasts for just 2 turns when the attack lands. and he will only want to use this if he has BP batteries in the party. He may sometimes just want to use a normal attack, or he will just have to use his nuke attack every 3 turns, and that's not really beneficial. As you can see, this character is just okay, nothing special, and even this recovery spell needs some gimmick to work. If he gets killed and revives and he gets killed again, he is not going to help. Well, average speaking, this banner is very low value. Well, Azra will likely receive a triple S grade because of his raw power, but he is easy to skip, especially for Lian users. Venus is nice and all, but she needed more to add to the party, like maybe another type of effect. Just her debuff is not reliable, and even if through this defense down is nice for some strategies where you can actually just try to kill a boss as soon as possible, it's still not as important to have. So she will receive an SS Plus grade, as I believe, but if you don't agree, please say here in the comments. And Odin is simply an okay character with nothing too much to offer. And in the case of his utility, I believe he also deserves an SS Plus grade. That means tier 2. And to be honest, this is one of the easiest banners to skip off recent times. If you really want to summon because you like the characters, that's okay, but don't think too highly of them. The second banner is much better in my opinion, and I'll be covering it on the next video. With all that said, this is my opinion. What is yours? This banner will likely receive just a bronze award. This is here on the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to support the channel, there are links in the description of the video. We have Patreon, Coffee, and PayPal buttons, and you can also join our Discord server where we talk about UniverSe and other JRPGs in general. Hope to see you soon in the next one.